MHS students. Hello. As you know, I am Tori Massetti, the famous talk show host from America's favorite show, A Blast from the Past.
Wow.
Today we are doing a special on the Second Great Awakening. We will be having 3 important guests with us. Timothy Dwight.
The fourth.
Wow. Charles Feeney.
It's pronounced Finney.
We have some sassy guests here with us today. And Andy the anthropologist.
Hello.
The Second Great Awakening was an extremely crucial time in American history. It was a religious revival in the United States of America, and its effects were widespread. Countless conversions, increased church activity, social activism, and the emergence of new Christian denominations. The effects were endless. The movement began around the 1800s, but only gained momentum in about the 1820s, though it began to decline in the 1870s. Basically, this was a time when people began to be more religiously involved and focus more on their faith. It was a time that was supposed to eliminate the evils in the world, though this began to separate the state even more, and eventually helped lead us to the Civil War. Such a terrible time in American history. And here's our first guest, Timothy Dwight IV. Timothy Dwight, a Yale graduate and war veteran who helped stimulate the Second Great Awakening. He is also a Congregationalist, so give a warm blast from the past welcome to Timothy Dwight. Hello, Mr. Dwight IV.
Yeah, don't forget the fourth, alright?
Alright, so let's hear what you have to say today.
The second party system was a new enthusiastic party dealing with political and religious ideas.
By saying religious, what do you mean exactly?
Us historians, we stress that the participants that took place during this time were all part of God's plan. Therefore, the church took a new stance in society to purify those who wanted salvation.
What else dealing with political?
Well, politically speaking, the church is hoping to have changes to the law and increases in institutions. This helps to improve political structure of this time.
It's great to hear that, Timothy Dwight IV. And here is Charles Feeney, another important person in the Second Great Awakening.
Hello, I'm Charles Finney, and I'm a Presbyterian and anti-Calvinist. I'm here to tell you about the religious aspects of the Second Great Awakening.
So, Mr. Feeney, what is your field of expertise?
Well, as I previously mentioned, I am an expert in religious aspects of the Second Great Awakening.
During the Second Great Awakening, what changes occurred?
Well, our country saw a rise in population from 5 million to 30 million people.
Wow!
The country's boundaries also expanded further westward, and there was a drastic increase in the amount of religious people and religion. The religion increased in 6 denominations. These denominations are Methodist, Catholic, Episcopalian, Baptist, Congregational, and Lutheran.
Wow, this seems like a very crucial time in American history, or if you ask me. Let's ask the audience.
I definitely agree.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
You mentioned all these new religions. What did these religions lead to?
Well, the growth of these religions started new movements such as abolitionist, temperance, and suffrage groups, further separating the North and the South of the country.
Abolitionists, that's definitely dealing with the Civil War, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well, a lot of people didn't like slavery and wanted everyone to be able to vote and stuff like that, so it just furthered the gap between North and South, ultimately leading to the Civil War.
A really terrible time.
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay. Why was this so important?
Well, like I said before, it led to the Civil War and split the country in half.
Thank you so much for being here today, Charles Feeney.
Anytime.
We appreciate your time and knowledge. Here is Andy the anthropologist. For those of you that do not know what an anthropologist is, it's a person who studies humankind in all aspects, especially dealing with culture and development. Hello, Andy. What information do you have to share with us on this fine afternoon?
Well, the Second Great Awakening impacted the amount of people that were involved in religion and changed their morals and how they thought about life. And by 1820, the awakening gained momentum, and by 1870, it was already going downhill. And denominations or different religious groups grew from about 12,000 to over 38,000.
Wow, why did the population rise so much?
Well, as people got more involved in religion, the population just automatically rose.
Naturally. How much did the population rise?
It rose from about 5 million to about 30 million.
That's crazy, if you ask me.
Ridiculous.
Thank you so much, Andy the anthropologist. We really appreciate your time. We know that anthropologists have busy schedules. Well, that concludes our special segment on the Great Awakening. We have told you almost all there is to know about this particular time period. Although, if you have any other questions, please tweet at us at WeKnowHistory or email us at ablastfromthepast@gmail.com. Please tune in to see our next special on the Civil War.
It's coming.
You're the best.